What's up, VC? Well, Laz back again, and I'm going to do a vinyl update video for the Warlord collection. 2024. What a year to be a Warlord fan. Holy cow. I think I got a little bit here to go through, so let me, as I drop one, I'm going to do, I got cassettes, CDs, and of course vinyl. And I'm going to start with some cassettes. Now, normally I don't buy cassettes, I don't buy new release cassettes. It's just something I'm not, I mean, I buy old cassettes. Hell, I got a whole bunch of Judas Priest cassettes over here. I got a cabinet full of Iron Maiden cassettes, bunch of cases full of various metal cassettes, but new release cassettes. It's just not in the budget usually. I didn't even pick up the Iron Maiden Number the Beast 40th anniversary cassette, believe it or not. It was in my shopping cart many times. I've held it at the record store many times, but I've just never pulled the trigger on it. And it'll eventually work its way into the collection. But for the most part, all these bands are now releasing cassettes as well, due to a cassette comeback, supposedly. And I still love cassettes, and I still play them as well. But I did buy some Warlord cassettes that are new releases were new releases from High Roller. I'm not sure if they still have them or not, but they were released this year. And I bought them strictly for the collection. I haven't even opened them. I have no need to really at this point, but I will show you the ones that I've picked up. I think there's still, there's still the two new albums, which I still need to pick up. So these are the previous albums. And of course, the first one is you got to have The Mighty Deliver Us. High Roller did a beautiful job on these. They're all on clear shells, beautiful artwork, etc. So really nice. So a copy of Deliver Us, a copy of And the Cannons of Destruction Have Begun. Again, clear, shell. All still in the shrink wrap. Like I said, I don't really have a reason to open them. And then these, I was surprised to see that they did these in the new covers, which are, I call them the gold covers. But Rising Out of the Ashes, the album with Joachim Cans from Hammerfall on here. Great album. And then this is The Holy Empire. You can see why I call them the gold covers. They did the same thing with the vinyl. I'm sure I've shown those in the past. Actually, it's been a long time since I've done a Warlord update. There may have been some stuff go into the Warlord collection that I haven't shown. I don't recall at this point, but I know this stuff I haven't shown yet. So yeah, nice 4 cassette stack there for the collection. And the 2 new CDs I grabbed are the 2 new albums, and we'll go over these more in a minute here. But the first is Free Spirit Soar, slipcase, High Roller CD, comes with a poster inside. So I love how High Roller does the slipcases, such a nice touch. And on most of the albums, they will do a poster as well, just like they do on the vinyl. So fabulous. And then the other one here, this is the From the Ashes and From the Ashes to the Archives. I keep wanting to call it From the Ashes and the Archives, but From the Ashes to the Archives. And same thing, slipcase CD, High Roller. No poster with this one, but everything else High Roller is there. So nice to get those. And then on to the vinyl. So I'm going to start with, I'll go ahead and show the 2 7-inches. They released one single off the new album called Conquerors. High Roller press 2 versions, a black vinyl copy as well as a purple vinyl. So of course, the sick bastard I am, I had to get both. So the purple and the black. Love the Warlord logos there. So like I've always said, I'm not a big 7-inch collector, but certain things, so glad to get those. And this is everything I'm showing, all of this High Roller put out this year. So like I said, great year to be a Warlord collector and a Warlord fan. I know a lot of people haven't really shown this stuff in the VC that I've come across yet. So hopefully I'm not alone in this, but maybe I am. I don't know. I know there's, definitely more Warlord fans because people watch my Warlord stuff. But anyway, so I don't want to say repressed because this was released on a picture disc way back in the day, but this is a new version of Deliver Us, the first album, on picture disc with the insert card here. And, I love High Roller. I cannot talk anything bad about High Roller. Obviously, their packaging, they just go over the top. And you talk about value for money. You cannot beat this label. I know Melanie loves death metal. Melanie has been showing her High Roller reissues that she's been picking up lately too. So go check those videos out too if you want to see more. But the one thing I will say here, the only critique I have is I wish Warlord, I wish High Roller would not have done these in the PVC jackets like this. We all know what happens with these things over time. If you're not careful, they can gas off into the vinyl and create impressions in the vinyl, streaks and whatnot. I wish at this point the industry would just convert to a jacket, even if it's one with the big, die cut hole in it, and then it has just a standard see-through sleeve inside, is a much better way to go. You can put all this information on there. We've all seen them. I don't know why some companies are still dropping the PVC covers like this, but I had to get it. So Deliver Us. Next one, another picture disc. This is And the Cannons of Destruction Have Begun. I do like the big hype sticker they put on here. It's a nice touch. And I will say this too, these PVC sleeves, at least, they're thicker and they're kind of they're not crystal clear. They're almost like a foggy, it's just the quality of these sleeves are nice. I mean, they're thick, they're a better quality than the ones of days of old, but still I would rather have the jackets. But anyway, so a repressing of And the Cannons of Destruction Have Begun on picture disc. Legendary picture on the back of the insert card there. And then there is one more that I haven't picked up yet, and that is the picture disc for Lost and Lonely Days and Aliens. It's a shaped picture disc with the big, Warlord red W. So I still need to pick that up. Okay, we're going to move on here to the 12-inch stuff, non-picture disc, and two albums I'm going to feature here. The first one is the new album that came out this year, Free Spirit Soar. And let me, for those that don't know what this album really is and what it entails, I can't really say it better. I was thinking of how to describe it, what to say about it. And I realized, what did High Roller actually describe it as? And I think they do it best. So I'm just going to read a little something here. That they or highlight some few things that they say here. Legendary U.S. metal band Warlord was formed in 1981 by Mark Zonder and William Samus. 1 year later in 1982, the song was First Hammer, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yes, Bill passed away on May 13th of 2021. He was 60 years old. I did a video for that. Such a loss. Okay, but let's see here. All right. So Free Spirit Soar, a brand new studio album by Warlord with all songs having been recorded between March and September of 2023. Its singer Giles Lavery paying tribute to the musical heritage of Bill Samus. He is joined by Mark Zonder on drums, the original drummer, Jimmy Waldo on keyboards and synth, and Phil Benoit on bass, and Eric Uris on guitars. We wanted to finish these pieces of music for Bill, explains Lavery. and the material we felt was certainly strong enough to inspire us to do so. Regarding the guitar parts he specifies, Bill is there where we could pull his tracks off the demo recordings in much the same way the Beatles were recently able to rescue John Lennon's voice from the old demo tape. Eric does most of the heavy lifting on guitar, but all music was written by Bill, and we stayed very, very faithful to what he wrote. And, I will say that, when I first got this, I didn't think those were Bill's tracks. I thought it was Giles just playing what Bill wrote. And in some places he does, but all I could remember was when the first time I spun this album, I was like, my God, it's still the Warlord sound. I was so stoked about that. And it makes total sense once I found out more about it. But all in all, Giles Lavery is very satisfied with how Free Spirit Soar turned out. It was a bit of an uncharted adventure, diving into Bill's demos and unfinished music, and also having to write lyrics and vocal melodies to the songs. The only two exceptions being the two Lordian Guard songs that we selected to Warlordize has been tradition on every Warlord album since Rising Out of the Ashes. Everything but two songs have vocals for the first time, so that entire area of the composition is new. As for the music, I think much of it is unheard. A few bits and pieces you might recognize from some of the catalog reissues, instrumental bonus tracks, etc. As producer of the album, it was my job to sort through all the pieces and put together songs. Mathis Mader, lineup, Giles Lavery, vocals, Eric Juris, guitar, Philip Bino, bass, Jimmy Waldo, keys, and Mark Zonder, drums. So yeah, this is, one of those albums where there's new written material, but or newly performed material, continued material written on top of what was already written and unfinished, as well as just completed written stuff but never recorded, etc., etc. And it is phenomenal. So if you're a Warlord fan, you will take right to this. This drops into the feeling of Deliver Us that the Deliver Us album has, probably more than Holy Empire and Rising Out of the Ashes. So this is a much better companion piece. So the first one I'm going to show is the black vinyl edition here. I'll start here. So this is the black vinyl. And yeah, it comes with, typical high roller. It has a I'll show you one when I get to the one I'm going to open. But anyway, so black vinyl edition. And you guys know I'm sick, so let's see. Here is the this is the quote Galaxy vinyl edition, which is kind of like a marbleized color. And if you're interested, I'll actually, I'm trying to get used to the new mic here. I'll show this one just so you know what they mean by that. So, you get all this stuff in here, typical high roller, but the vinyl, let's see here. This Galaxy one, it's like a really dark blue and black, color. I don't know where they're getting Galaxy from that. To me, it looks more like stone or something like that. But anyway, and I will say it. I know that this is a big thing in the vinyl community, and amongst record collectors today. In fact, I know Jurgen and Melanie were just doing a thing on things about the vinyl industry currently, and colored vinyl was kind of getting bashed on a little bit. I am a sucker for colored vinyl. It just adds one more extra touch to the fascination, the fun, and the collectability of it. So I'm one of those weirdos, I guess, that is a fan of colored vinyl, especially splatter. I've never talked about it, but my favorite colored vinyl is white. I love white vinyl. But so anyway, that's the Galaxy colored version. And then next up, this is the red vinyl edition. Same thing, just on red. You know what red vinyl looks like, so I'm not going to bother there. I don't know what these are limited to, or even if they are. But, you know, the other thing about this album I want to talk about is the cover art. It is very reminiscent of the first album. You know, it's got the tomb, the ghost girl here, or whatever she is, the dove. It's such an updated modern version of the original album cover. It was a very beautiful touch. However, in my opinion, I would have used this art on the next album that I'm going to talk about. But beautiful. So that's the red one. And then High Roller also did this, which was, I had to order it from them directly. One of the people that I go through and use to usually get my High Roller stuff here in the States, told me he was unable to get it. And I'm not sure why. So I went straight to High Roller directly and grabbed it myself. And I ended up grabbing 2 copies actually, but this is a limited edition of this album, and it's called the Silver Edition, and it's beautiful. You can see the logo there is in silver instead of red, which goes very well with the artwork. It's on silver vinyl. It's a mirror glossy. I'll just open it here. You can see it there. You see how shiny it is. And then, so what do you get with this? All of them are the same here, and that is you do get the you get a download card, you get the poster of the album cover, which is just gorgeous. You get the insert with the lyric sheets, and then I thought there was, oh no, that's the other album, has the band card in it. Okay, so and also with High Roller, you know, I love their inner jackets. It's not just plain white; they're either black or brown like that. You do get the polyline sleeves, and again, this is the silver edition, so silver vinyl. And I'm telling you, this album, you know, what a good time to be a Warlord fan is all I'm going to say. Now, what I'm curious to know is, I know they're touring overseas right now with the new lineup, and I don't know if this is kind of Mark's way of just kind of closing out the Warlord legacy, or if they're going to continue. I would love nothing more to continue, because I remember, I've been a fan for years, and I remember back in the day when you had 3 pieces of Warlord vinyl and that was it, and the band was done, they were gone. And I never thought, you know, here in 2024, I've got, you know, a whole collection of Warlord stuff all over here. So phenomenal. But anyway, so the limited edition Silver Edition, that I guess apparently you have to get from High Roller directly. So when I did, I said, you know what, for that shipping, I'm going to just throw an extra copy in there just cause. So I'm keeping one sealed, and then one open to enjoy. So that's the Silver Edition. So the next thing that they released, okay, and this was literally like just a couple months after, or maybe a month after, I don't really recall. But this is From the Ashes to the Archives. The Hot Pursuit Continues. And this is on purple vinyl. I don't have the other variants yet. I have just the purple vinyl and the CD. But this one, this is the album I would have put that other artwork on, because this thing is literally like Deliver Us Part 2. This would be the sequel to that. And I think High Roller even says the same. And so this one actually has Bill playing guitars on it, Giles on vocals, Eric Juris on guitars, also Jimmy Waldo. Yeah, same lineup, but also Bill Samus. And let's see here what High Roller says about this is, with guitar and bass parts of Bill Samus saved from the original recordings, the current team of Mark Zonder, blah, 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 the band, is now following Free Spirit Soar with an additional album called From the Ashes to the Archives. The Hot Pursuit continues, a limited edition release to mark the occasion of the band's summer dates in 2024 that I was just talking about. Singer Giles Lavery explains, what we wanted to do with some of these songs was to revisit some of the songs from the Rising Out of the Ashes album, recorded with this lineup and using Bill's guitar and bass tracks. So to give fans an idea of how they are going to sound live this year as they're on tour, I'm so glad that he said this. Please don't get me wrong. I think Joachim Cans did a brilliant job on the Rising Out of the Ashes originals. So these new versions are to be seen very much as in a companion to the 2002 versions rather than any kind of replacement. Because I love that album and I think he did a phenomenal job on it. So I'm glad that he's giving credit here and saying, hey, this isn't to overshadow that. However, the mixes this time around are a little heavier and rawer, and to me it sounds more sonically like it's the 1980s era Warlord. Amen to that. Exactly. A sound which really suits the band. Ironically, the 1980s is when most of these songs on this new collection were written, long before they were recorded for Lordian Guard. Winds of Thor, for example, was part of the very first Warlord demo back in 1982. So they go on here a little bit more about it. But let's see here. They said, so these are everybody's going to ended up doing, however, somewhere there's a quote in here where they do say something about this is like the companion piece to Deliver Us. And it absolutely is. So, you know, great time to be a Warlord fan. Lots new to listen to and enjoy for the years to come. I am going to still get the other variants of this one, especially because if I had my choice between the two, I would say this would have been actually also a really cool double album set. You know, I would have maybe released this as a double album set because it's the same lineup, you know, so they could have done it as a double album and that would have been just really, really neat. But hey, I'll take Warlord any way I can get it. So, that is that. So just a quick Warlord update for the collection. Everybody just wanted to do a quick video on that and push the word of Warlord. So as usual with this band, well, I don't know. I used to say things like, you know, get them before they're gone because, you know, once they go out of print, but High Roller's been pretty good about printing enough and keeping in stock going for a while. So I don't think you need to rush out and fear that you're going to miss this or something like that, but I wouldn't put it off too long either. But they've gotten really good about printing enough and staying with the demand. So kudos, High Roller. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this one. And I will see you in the next one. Peace. Stay in the groove.